Hey guys, so welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am doing my labor and delivery story, and my name is Kylie and I post videos every Wednesday. So, if you guys haven't watched my last video, I did have my baby boy. So I delivered on October 29th, 2017 at 1:53 p.m. and he was 8 pounds, 10 ounces, and 21 inches long. So it all started Thursday, October 26th. I had the day off and I was hanging out with my mom, and we were actually was really in the mood to clean. Like, I don't know why, but I was helping her clean this extra room that she has in her house, and I was just helping her organize it and everything. And then I ended up going home after doing that for a couple hours with her. And I went home, relaxed, and was hanging out with my fiance, and then we went to bed. I woke up about midnight that night and I was getting contractions, and I was like, oh my god, like, is this it? Like, and because this is my first pregnancy, I wasn't sure, and so I was timing them and being all crazy about it. And they ended up stopping at about 4 a.m. and so I was like, okay, maybe it's not ready, maybe those were just warm-up contractions. I didn't really know for sure. And then so all day Friday, my fiance ended up staying home with me, and so we just hung out and watched movies and just relaxed together. And I would get a couple contractions throughout the day, and then at about, I believe it was about 8 p.m. they started to pick up and I started to get more of them again. And then so they ended up getting stronger overnight and they were getting closer together. So 4 a.m. on Saturday morning is when I ended up actually going to the hospital. Me and my fiance decided to load up the car and just go checked out, make sure everything was okay, and make sure that James was okay, and that to see how dilated I was and everything. So we went and did that, and we sat in the triage, and they hooked me up to these a baby monitor to monitor James and his heartbeat, and then also to monitor the contractions. And they did that for about an hour, and then they checked to see how dilated I was, had me walk around for an hour, and then put me back on the monitor for an hour, and then checked me again to see if my labor was progressing. And unfortunately, I was only 2 centimeters dilated, so and it didn't really change while we were there, so my labor wasn't progressing fast enough. So they ended up sending me home. And so we went home and the contractions weren't as bad. I like to walk a lot, so me and him just relaxed at home and then took a couple walks, and I was bouncing on I have one of the birthing balls, and so we did that. And pain wasn't excruciating, I wasn't in that much pain. And so I was like, yes, I'm gonna be able to do this natural, and no problem, this is easy. And then it came time it was about 10 p.m. on Saturday night, and I was starting to get in a lot of pain and just really tired because I hadn't slept for basically 2 nights already. I hadn't gotten any sleep because I would get the contractions the worst at night, and so it would just keep me up all night. And my body was just really exhausted from going through that for basically 3 days. Finally had to wake Evan up, my fiance, at about midnight, or it was about 11:30, and then we left the house about midnight and went back to the hospital to get checked out because I felt like I needed some type of pain medication because I wasn't able to sleep and my body was just getting really weak, and I didn't want to be that weak for when I gave birth, because it takes a lot out of you to be able to push and all of that. And I could already feel myself draining from the whole process. So we went in and they put me back in the triage and hooked me up and everything, and checked to see how dilated I was. And I was only about 4 centimeters dilated at the time, and that's not very much for how long I had been in early labor. So they had me walk around again, and then the doctor actually decided to admit me, even though I was only 4 centimeters. So he ended up admitting me. I got admitted at about 2 a.m. after like 2 hours of being in the triage. And so they started all like the testing that they had to do. They put my IV in. And then at about 4 a.m. I actually did end up getting the epidural, which I'm so thankful that I did and that I didn't have any problems with it, because I was finally able to actually get a little bit of sleep and to rest up before having to go through the final stages of labor. At about 6 a.m. they had to give me Pitocin to increase my contractions because I still wasn't dilating very much. And after they gave me the Pitocin, I still wasn't really progressing as fast as they would like. So they ended up actually breaking my water for me at about 8 a.m. And I obviously couldn't feel it because I had the epidural, so it was really easy. And then once like I had my water broken at about 8 a.m. I relaxed a little bit more, and my family all got there. Like it was my mom, my brother, my grandpa, and my fiance Evan that were there before the birth. And they got there about like, it was like noon, I believe. And I'll insert like some footage from the delivery day, because I did take a little bit of footage, and I will insert that, and you guys can see that at the end. And then at about, it was like 1 o'clock is when like I started getting like completely effaced. I was like 90% effaced and like 9 centimeters dilated or something crazy. I don't even remember, but and I was actually really like comfortable, and it was really weird to be like in the final stages of labor and to be so calm. And I actually really appreciate that, because the epidural like took the edge off, so I was able to enjoy the moment of giving birth to my baby. And in the room I had 2 people. I had my mother, and then I also had my fiance. And then of course I had 2 nurses that were absolutely amazing. They were great. And then at the end I did have the doctor obviously come in and deliver the baby. And even though I had the epidural, I did feel the need to push, so I didn't really need a whole lot of guidance on when to push and everything. And yeah, that was my labor and delivery story. And I ended up giving birth to him after about like 30 minutes of pushing. And he was born at 1:53 p.m. And I will insert my birth footage here. And I hope you guys enjoy this video.
Have a baby.
It's almost time.
Almost time.
We're just waiting for the last half a centimeter.
That's right. Okay, we're gonna go pan out through the room. Nola's doing the little head shake. Go ahead, do it again, Nola. What is wrong with you?
Don't throw your ring on.
There's great grandpa.
Yeah, he's getting so old.
Hi.
Say what?
Tell me, okay, I want to get in the picture too, so flip it so you can show me. So I can say hi.
There she
No,
is. Everybody say hi.
Everybody say hi.
Hi, yeah.
We're ready to have a baby.
So
Thanks, sir.
I hit the mark button,
Wow.
which is for everybody.
Oops.
Yeah, you're gonna break down. Oh, me.
13, 15,
Oh. Oh. I'm too short. I can't see. Like-
Yes, sir. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Come on,
7 minutes
Ever.
off.
Well, snap.
Oh.
I thought his head was going to be a lot smaller because of how it was coming out. And then
Right,
this
yeah.
melon came out.
Like
Wow.
pops.
He has a big head.
So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. and hit that big red subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Bye guys.